uma neurose, mano.
Well, let's get started with today's live. And it's been a while since I last talked about grammar. So let's talk a little bit about grammar today, coming with gerunds and infinitives. Now, when do we use gerunds and infinitives? Well, a gerund is the ing form of a verb. So it's the verb in, verbing. That's the gerund. For instance, I like swimming. Yeah. Swimming is the gerund form of that verb. I like swimming. I like speaking English. Yeah, ing. That's the gerund form of a verb. Another one, I don't like playing sports. I don't like playing sports. So playing is the ing form of that verb. Yeah, that's the ing form, and the ing form is the gerund form. Now, another one here, infinitive. What's the opposite of the gerund? Yeah, that's the infinitive. An infinitive is the to plus the base form of the verb. I like to swim. I like to play sports. I don't like to eat junk food. So I'm using, instead of saying I like to swim, I'm saying I like swimming. Yeah, that's the idea of using gerund versus infinitive. Now, what is the function of gerunds and infinitives? They combine the action meaning of the verb with the grammatical form function of the noun. They the gerund, especially the gerund, yeah, the infinitive is also possible. Yeah, they can act as nouns. Now, what is a noun? A noun could be the subject or the verb, yeah, the subject or the object of a sentence. For example, speaking in front of a crowd can be scary. So speaking is, or snowboarding is a great sport. So snowboarding is a great sport. I'm starting the action with the ing, so that action is not an action anymore. That action is actually a noun. Now, and as an object position, that will come as the complement of another verb. Do you want to go to the beach tomorrow? Yeah, so want to go, yeah, to the beach tomorrow. Yeah, do you want to come to the beach tomorrow? To come, to go is the infinitive form. Want is the main verb in here. Now, when do we choose gerund? When do we choose infinitive? Well, that really depends. Some sentence positions, they take only gerund, and some sentence positions, they take only infinitive. But um, um, there are some positions that we could use both. We just need to be aware of when to use one and when to use the other. For instance, as the subject of a sentence, let me get this one higher up. For the subject of a sentence, for instance, we can use gerunds, yeah, are common in the subject position. Again, we don't use infinitive. Usually, yeah, we do not use infinitive as the subject of the sentence. We would use gerund as the subject. Shopping is one of my hobbies. So shopping isn't a place, and shopping isn't a Shopping is in a place, and shopping is in an action. Shopping is the idea of going and doing the shopping. So, shopping is one of my hobbies. Traveling is one of my favorite hobbies. So, traveling is the gerund form of the verb. And I'm using traveling as the subject of the sentence. Yeah. Working out is really healthy for you. Yeah, working out is really healthy for you. So I'm saying I'm starting the sentence with a verb, which is not actually a verb. It's a noun because I'm starting the sentence with this verb in the ing form. So this verb is transformed into a noun, yeah, into the subject of the sentence. And I say, working out is really healthy for you. Yeah, so I'm starting with ing. Well, um, also following with a preposition is another way we can use the gerund form in. For example, they usually come, so the gerund, ing, verb being, they usually come after a preposition. For instance, um, I think a lot about traveling every weekend. So I think a lot about traveling every weekend. About traveling. About is the preposition. So after this preposition, I have to use the gerund form of a verb. Yeah. Another example is every night I dream about jumping over a fence like the sheep. Yeah. So every night I think I dream about jumping over a fence. About jumping. Yeah, I'm using a preposition. After that preposition, I must use the ing form. Another one that is pretty common when you are talking about your skills, your abilities, after the preposition, we use the gerund. We could say, I'm good at teaching English. I am good at teaching English. I don't say at teaching. So good at. Yeah, I'm good at teaching English. Or any other skill that you could add to this sentence. I'm good at teaching English. I'm good at delivering a live stream. I'm good at communicating with people. I'm good at listening to other people. Yeah, so I'm good at, and after this preposition at, I use the gerund form of the verb. And we can also use gerund as the object of a verb. So again, we started with gerund as the subject, then gerund following a preposition, going after a preposition, and now gerund as the object of a verb. And this is the one position where both gerunds and infinitives are usually used, not just exactly um, gerund. It's common for both in this case, gerund and infinitive. I'm going to give you some examples with gerund. For instance, um, you guys enjoy learning about gerunds. With the verb enjoy, we always use gerund after the verb enjoy. So you enjoy you enjoy learning about gerunds. About gerunds. Yeah, enjoy learning. Enjoy, the main verb, complementary verb, it must be in the ing form. Another one is um, my, yeah, well, that's pretty much it. Let me come with another one. This is the usage of the gerunds. Now, when do we use the infinitives? Well, we can use infinitives to follow an adjective. They commonly come after an adjective, the infinitive forms of the verbs. For instance, it is nice to meet you. So nice is the adjective. Whatever comes after this adjective, infinitive. It's nice to meet you. Yeah, to meet infinitive because we have the to in that form of the verb. It's nice to meet you. We use infinitive after that. Another usage of the infinitive form is following a noun or following a pronoun. So we use the noun plus the infinitive. The noun like an object, an animal, or a place, yeah, or even a person, of course. If the verb has a noun or a pronoun object, yeah, it's almost always followed by an infinitive. Almost always. Uh, you asked me to present this class about infinitive. Yeah, you asked me to call you. So okay, I'm using this noun followed by the infinitive. You asked me to present this class about gerund, an infinitive. And we use infinitives after as the object of a verb. So we put the verb and then we put the infinitive, which is common for both, as the other example I gave. Yeah, it's common for both the gerund and the infinitive. For instance, okay, I want to get more reach in this life. I want to get. Yeah, so want to get more reach in this life. Want to get. Yeah, want to get is the main verb followed by the infinitive verb. So it's the object of the main verb. Want. I want to get. I want to get better reach in this life. Well, that's another one. And uh, I gave you some examples on when to use the gerund. So we can use the gerund as the subject of a sentence or following a preposition, or now uh, we can also use the gerund following a verb as the object of a verb. Also, I've given you examples of using I've given you examples of using infinitives, and that is following an adjective. So adjective plus infinitive, or following a noun or a pronoun, noun plus the infinitive, and object of a verb, that is the verb plus the infinitive. Now, just a few notes for you here. Yeah, a verb can be in any tense. Yeah, progressive tenses use the ing form. Yeah, progressive tenses as continuous forms like I am teaching in this life. Yeah, that's present continuous. That's definitely a verb. I am teaching in this life. Yeah. I was teaching another topic in my last live yesterday. Yeah. So here, yeah, I'm using in the continuous form. But the verb go, yeah, for a lot of sports, actually, especially individual sports, we can follow the verb go with a gerund form of a verb. For instance, we can go for I like to go fishing. Fishing is kind of an individual sport, right? So I like to go fishing. I don't say go fish or go to fish. I like to go fishing. I like to go skiing. Yeah, so I'm using go and the ing form after this go. Yeah, that's most common again for individual sports. I like to go skiing. I like to go golfing. I like to go snowboarding. I like to go running. I like to go um, fishing. I think that was the first one I said. That's it. Well, the noun plus infinitive rule is really, really handy. For example, yeah, the verb advise normally takes a gerund, like the doctor advised eating more vegetables for a better health. But when there's a noun object, yeah, as in like the doctor advised Mark to eat more vegetables, then we have to use the infinitive because I added that person in there. The doctor advised me to eat more vegetables, infinitive. But if there's no me, the doctor advised eating more vegetables. The doctor advised eating more vegetables, or the doctor advised me to eat more vegetables. Okay, so we have two different perspectives here using a noun plus the infinitive. The doctor advised me to eat some vegetables, or the doctor advised me eating more vegetables. The doctor advised eating more vegetables, the ing form, the gerund form of that verb. Well, and both gerunds and infinitives, they keep their meanings. Yeah, even though they function as nouns, they keep the meanings. They keep the idea of Snowboarding, reading, studying, jumping, speaking, listening, the meaning is the same. When I say, I enjoy studying English, yeah, the idea studying, of course, it's the direct object of the verb enjoy, but it's the idea of studying. It comes from the idea of the verb to study. Um, and some verbs take either gerund or infinitive with no real change in meaning. For instance, with the verb love, the meaning, if you use a gerund or an infinitive verb after love, the meaning is basically the same. So we go for something like, I love eating nuts. I love eating nuts. Gerund, love eating. Or I love to eat nuts. I love to eat nuts. Love to eat, yeah, infinitive, love to eat. I love eating nuts. I love to eat nuts is basically the same meaning. There's no big change in here. Now, can gerunds and infinitives be negative? Yes, there are some ways we can put gerunds and infinitives in the negative form. For instance, we can use not, the main verb, in gerund or infinitive. For instance, I don't like studying after 10 p.m. So I don't like studying after 10 p.m. So I'm using don't like studying gerund. Yeah. Or I can use main verb plus this is gerund. Infinitive is the same. Okay. So I don't want to play soccer today. I don't want to play soccer today. Yeah. Well, another way we can put them in the negative form is the main verb plus not plus the infinitive. We could go for something like, I have decided not to watch the game tonight. I have decided not to watch the game tonight. So I'm using not plus the infinitive form. That's another interesting way you can say, yeah, the gerund infinitive in the negative form. Another one is main verb plus to plus not plus the base form. This one, however, is less common. For instance, the same sentence, I have decided to not watch the game tonight. I have decided to not watch the game tonight. That's another way you can say the infinitive in the negative form. And another one that we can use usually for the gerund, but not common at all, yeah, is, of course, it's possible, but not common, is main verb plus not plus gerund. For instance, I I considered not coming to this live today. So I considered not coming to this live session today. I considered not coming, but actually I came. Yeah. Well, this is the idea. Just to remind you a little bit, the gerunds we can use subject as the gerund. We can use, so we can put the gerund in the beginning of a sentence as the subject. Gerund verbing. We can use gerund after a preposition. So we use a preposition plus gerund. About, going, at, playing. Yeah, so preposition, ing, interested in reading. Yeah, preposition, in reading, gerund. Or the verb plus gerund, like playing, enjoy, going. Yeah. And infinitives, adjective plus infinitive. It's nice to meet you. Yeah, adjective plus infinitive. As a noun, yeah, we can also use that as a noun. So that would go for and verb plus infinitive. That's another way we can use verbs in the gerund and in the infinitive form. Now, which are the most common verbs followed by the gerund? Well, a lot of common verbs followed by the gerund form is enjoy. So if you use the verb enjoy, we pretty much gotta use gerund. All right. Oops. Okay. We pretty much use gerund. For example, I enjoy playing sports. Ing. Avoid. The verb avoid is another verb we use ing. For instance, I avoid I avoid speaking other languages during my life. Yeah. And I recommend you avoid speaking other languages or thinking about other languages during the life. That's another example we can have with the gerund. Oh, I'm finding something interesting here, but okay. Appreciate. Appreciate is another verb that is followed by gerund. I appreciate studying English with you. So you see, I appreciate studying gerund form after that. Yeah. Well, miss. I miss playing sports during the week. I miss playing sports during the week. Miss playing. That's another verb that we can use with adjective with gerunds after them. Another one that we can use, quit. Quit is another common verb that we can use with gerund. For instance, I let's say you have a bad habit and you quit this bad habit. So you smoked cigarettes in the past and you say, like, I quit smoking. Yeah, I quit drinking soda. Yeah, so I quit drinking soda, quit drinking ing. We use that with gerund form. Well, the some of the common verbs that we use following by infinitive is agree. Yeah, I agree to go with you tomorrow. Yeah, so I agree to go, not agree going. Agree to go. Another one is um, learn. I need to learn to speak English. I need to learn to speak English. Learn to speak. Learn to play. Learn to go. Goes with the infinitive after that. Hope. Hope is also another verb that is followed by infinitive, a very common verb followed by infinitive. For instance, I hope to pass my test tomorrow. I hope to meet. I hope to have time to meet with my friends tomorrow. Yeah. Or need. Need is another common verb that is followed by infinitive. I need to practice more. I need to prioritize. I need to play this. I need to buy that. I need to eat that. Yeah. So need is another verb that is followed by infinitive. And some verbs could be followed by both gerund and infinitive without really changing the meaning. For instance, love. I love to play sports. I love playing sports. It's pretty much the same. Another one would be continue. Yeah. Oh, excuse me.